In the slew of mediocre games, every so often a true gem rises to the top, but I have a hard time finding or remembering the best games, as I'm sure you do as well. Sometimes separating garbage from true quality can be hard when every single game on God's green earth seems to have a Game of the Year tag on it. So, using my powers as a pseudo-famous internet person, I spent 2 hours on a live stream collecting the best games of past, present, and future. Oh, and don't worry, random internet potato with a stack of JRPGs running from floor to ceiling, you can leave a comment and we might make another game list in the future if this gets enough views. Let's begin. Titanfall 2 was way ahead of its time. Back before they created Apex Legends and started milking it like it was a haggard old dairy cow, Respawn was the team that designed Black Ops 2, arguably the best Call of Duty game in existence. They then split off from Treyarch and decided to make a true spiritual successor to the fast-paced run-and-gun arena shooter that seemingly Call of Duty can't even seem to master. Even ignoring its immaculate mechanics, Titanfall 2 offers, in my extremely biased opinion, one of the most emotionally compelling campaigns that developers with a budget thrice as large can only dream of. You will get done with the story and look down at your now drenched shirt and say out loud to nobody in particular, am I fucking crying over an FPS game? Unfortunately, Titanfall 2's online servers have been shut down, but I hear a passionate team of players have created a mod called the North Star client to get them back up again on PC. I personally cannot agree more with my chat's decision on this one. You absolutely need to play this game if you are a fan of the shooter genre and haven't already. Terraria is the cooler younger brother of Minecraft. Right when the sandbox crafting survival games started to take over the industry, Terraria came in with a vision and a passionate indie team, and they executed beautifully. As a die-hard Minecraft fan, it took me quite a while to warm up to Terraria's lack of a third dimension. But once you start to sink your teeth into the game, you will find that there is more depth here than in its competitor. Also, another nice benefit is that Terraria isn't currently being puppeted by Microsoft, so you know the game won't ever hurdle through a minefield of community backlash and PR nightmares. You can find this game practically on any platform, and even a toaster can run it, so give it a shot. Did you know that From Software made other games other than the Souls series? If you like the idea of piloting a massive death machine and love customization, you will probably love Armored Core 6. Obviously, we are having to speculate and make educated assumptions about any entry with our future section of this list, but if previous entries are anything to go by, and with how much heat the From Software team is bringing lately, this game is going to be a banger. Oh, and if you're worried that Armored Core will fall victim to the seemingly inescapable trope of mecha pilots being 20-year-old teenage somethings with whiny interpersonal dramas, I can assure you that you will be right at home with this community. Customization, From Software, big robots, it's a formula for success. We wanted to make sure we had some diversity on this list, and no greatest game list is complete without at least one Nintendo platformer. Despite this classic being on the past section list, with how relevant the game still is today, even literal decades later, shows how unbelievable the original Super Mario 64 is. You could just as easily pick up a slightly newer 3D Mario platformer, but I firmly believe that there is a fantastic simplicity, yet unshakable depth to the grandfather of this series that needs to be appreciated from time to time. While some design choices definitely feel out of date, it's amazing how well this game has stood the test of time. Its colorful and appealing aesthetic reminds us why we continue to crawl back to Nintendo like a housebroken puppy, even though they treat their community like gum stuck to the bottom of their shoe. Check out Nintendo's online shop if you're interested in picking this up. It is still fantastic. A breakout indie game series you have probably heard of is Deep Rock Galactic, even if you've never played it. At its core, it's a cooperative first-person shooter that seamlessly blends elements of mining, exploration, and intense combat, and procedurally generated underground environments. With its unique premise, engaging gameplay mechanics, and a strong emphasis on teamwork, Deep Rock Galactic offers a refreshingly distinct and highly enjoyable gaming experience. In other words, if the idea of dwarves and a dangerous roguelike 3D mining game or even remotely excite you, you will love Deep Rock Galactic. I personally find Deep Rock's online multiplayer an experience that so many developers still struggle to achieve, an addictive one. This game won't be for everyone, but if it's for you, you won't be able to put it down. Rock and Stone. Alright, everyone get out your Fallout 76 pre-order boxes of shame as I say, Starfield could be space Skyrim. Bethesda has had a rocky time creating games and shown we can allow ourselves to get it may be a little hyped. How can you not include a Halo game? We went back and forth on what Halo entry we wanted to add to this list, but my audience seemed to land particularly on Halo Reach. Back before Bungie was making waves of the MMORPG space shooter looter genre, it was setting and pushing the standards of what we know of the modern FPS genre. All of the Bungie Halo games were groundbreaking, but Reach offered a sort of design climax for the franchise that 343 has been chasing even to this day. I don't need to sell you on this one. If you like Halo games, do yourself a favor and play this on the Master Chief Collection to remind yourself of the good old days. Oh my lord, I love this game. I just finished Tears of the Kingdom a few days ago and I enjoyed almost every second of it. It is amazing to me how Nintendo is able to take the formula offered by Breath of the Wild and somehow improve it in nearly every conceivable way, from an unbelievable physics engine to beautiful landscapes, fun characters, and so much exploration. If you haven't played Tears of the Kingdom and you have a Switch, you're doing yourself a disservice. For me, Tears did a better job in its story than Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild felt mostly open-ended in how its narrative sort of tied together, which at the time worked well, but with Tears of the Kingdom, the underlying plot and character progression, I could never look back to Breath of the Wild again. I also discovered that Tears of the Kingdom has a hidden XP system which keeps masterclass gamers like myself from breezing through it. I still felt challenged, even though I could tell I was getting stronger with every new piece of gear I got, but it was still difficult. I could rave for another 30 minutes about this game, so, let's keep rolling. Silksong has been in development since the dawn of man. Long has the highly requested sequel been delayed, but with how much of a powerhouse Hollow Knight is, fans are willing, like myself, are willing to wait for Team Cherry to push out yet another masterpiece. Realistically, Team Cherry could just take the Hollow Knight formula and give it a new story and a new map and we would be fine. But everything that has come out about this game so far has shown that this is going to be so much more than that. If nothing else, take this as an entry into our games of the past list and go play Hollow Knight all over again. Monster Hunter World arguably should be in the present section of this list, but one of the Monster Hunter games should definitely land somewhere on this list. Monster Hunter World is set in a vibrant and expansive world and offers the similar opportunity to become a skilled hunter who track and battle various creatures while crafting equipment and uncovering a rich ecosystem. But perhaps the biggest achievement of this game is its ability to innovate on the tried and true formulas offered by so many previous titles so successfully that it was able to introduce itself into a much bigger audience. Similar to Deep Rock Galactic, World offers the best experience when played with friends. Whether you're a fan of the series or a newcomer, the game offers a captivating reward system as you become a master hunter in this big living world. It's fantastic. Give it a go. What can be said of Ultra Kill that hasn't been preached by the extremely devoted fan base? I guess I could say at its core, it's a retro-style fast-paced shooter with arena combat, a Devil May Cry or Bayonetta-like style system, and it even manages to throw some pieces of character and story in there. The gameplay, however, of Ultra Kill is the star of the show. It is a lightning-fast arena shooter that encourages constant movement and quick reflexes. You are rewarded for playing aggressive, chaining kills together to maintain health and your ammo. The game features a variety of different weapons, each of which have a unique feel or purpose, and the level design is crafted to keep up with the action, slowly building on how quick and how much the game will throw at you. You'll start Ultra Kill thinking, oh, this is quite difficult, and by the time you're done with the game, what you would have normally considered a boss is now a normal enemy, just because you've gotten better at the game. Ultra Kill is a love letter. Open it up and give it a read. Arc 2 was added to this list even though I know very little about it. I had a group of very passionate voters who somehow convinced or gaslit the rest of chat into putting it on this list. I never got into the original Arc games too much. With what experience I do have, however, I can tell you that this game will consume your life. in a good way. Expansive open world, player interactive environments, and gameplay not too dissimilar from the rest series if you're more familiar with that. As it stands, this game hasn't been given an official release date yet, but with how well Arc 1 did, it's worth at least keeping on your radar. I lobbied hard to get a puzzle game on this list, and I am so glad Portal 2 was what we landed on. Back when Valve still made games, Portal 2 was an unbelievable realization of the themes and gameplay of the original Portal. Not only do you get some brain-bending puzzles with satisfying action elements, but you also have some of the most iconic writing in all of gaming. The fact that these characters to this day still get mentioned like the original first 3 seasons of SpongeBob should tell you that something special was achieved here. This game is best played completely blind. So, if you're interested in this game at all, or if you needed a reminder of how amazing it was, go back and go in without looking anything up. You will not regret it, I promise you. Last on our list was supposed to be Elden Ring, which I believe would have been a completely justifiable as a sort of horizontal exploration to the loved and hated Souls series, but I'm going to make an executive decision here and put Baldur's Gate 3 in its place. Not to say that Elden Ring is worse than Baldur's Gate 3, but rather I think that the praises of Elden Ring have been so well published that it doesn't really need any help. If you have ever listened to your friend explain how much fun he had playing D&D, but you knew deep down you would never have the patience or time to give D&D a try, Baldur's Gate somehow manages to encapsulate the style of D&D while providing the veneer and polish and consistency that the tabletop can sometimes lack. It is a serious compliment to the game to say that it might just take Game of the Year over the absolute titan that is Tears of the Kingdom. I strongly encourage you to give this some investigating, or maybe go play Elden Ring again, what do I care? Do you remember why Todd Howard published 37 bazillion copies of Skyrim? It's because that game completely transformed the face of the RPG genre forever. Again, another Bethesda game, but with how much love Skyrim still receives to this day, and with the sheer amount of talent still present at Bethesda, if Elder Scrolls 6 ever does make it to shelves, it will have some massive shoes to fill, but I think it might just do it. So that's my list. Did you like it? Hate it? Blame my chat. I legally can't be held accountable. If we get 50,000 views, we will do another. Suggest a topic below, but make sure you subscribe first. Bless your faces, and deuces.